This week, Prime Minister Modi issued a direct appeal to the Indian public to prepare for a period of austerity. The government is asking citizens to tighten their belts, cutting foreign trips, carpooling to work, and reducing gold imports to save on foreign exchange. The driver for this directive is the West Asia crisis. With global supply chains disrupted and crude prices climbing, India, one of the world's largest oil importers, is facing a significant energy cost spike. These rising oil costs have put the rupee under tremendous pressure. Macroeconomic parameters across the board are taking a hit, leading to a current account deficit that threatens to accelerate inflation and slow national growth. The government's strategy treats this as a temporary shock, a wartime-style moment of national interest, where reduced spending can bridge the gap until oil prices eventually stabilize. This call for austerity falls heavily on the 10 to 15 million people working in India's $350 billion IT sector. This workforce is the engine of India's aspirational middle class. These are the professionals buying homes, funding private education, and driving the domestic consumption that the broader economy relies on. But as the government asks these workers to endure a short-term economic storm, it is overlooking a far more permanent shift happening within their own offices. While inflation drains their daily spending, a structural transition is underway that is actively removing the roles these workers occupy. The difficulty for the middle class lies in this overlap. They are being asked to reduce their spending at the same time the salary foundation required to sustain their lifestyle is narrowing. Recent financial reports reveal the scale of this change. Net hiring across India's top 5 IT firms has seen a sharp decline, signaling a move away from the traditional high-volume recruitment models. This chart shows the decline in recruitment activity. Annual gross hiring across the top 5 firms has dropped from 230,000 down to 170,000. TCS alone laid off 12,000 people last year, while significantly reducing its intake of new graduates. Analysts at Bernstein wrote an open letter to the Prime Minister, warning that AI is not a future risk, but a current reality. The technology is already automating the entry-level roles that once required thousands of human workers. For decades, the Indian middle class was built on English-language talent and volume outsourcing. Those specific, repeatable tasks are the primary targets for AI integration. These figures suggest the hiring slump is not a standard market cycle, but a structural change in how value is created in the technology sector. The government's response to the oil crisis includes a strong push for citizens to switch to electric vehicles to reduce fuel imports. There is a technical irony in this advice. Modern EVs run on software and AI that manages everything from battery range to fleet logistics, the same categories of technology currently reducing the headcount in IT firms. This diagram visualizes the pressure on a typical IT professional. On one side, austerity measures increase the relative cost of living. On the other, AI automation reduces the availability of the jobs that pay for it. While oil-driven inflation eventually stabilizes, the shift toward automation represents a permanent rerouting of the labor market. Asking a workforce to financially invest in the very technology that is automating their roles presents a difficult economic contradiction. At the AI Impact Summit, Prime Minister Modi outlined a vision for India to become one of the world's top 3 AI superpowers by 2047, framing the technology as a tool for national welfare. However, there is a gap between that 2047 vision and the current reality. 60,000 entry-level jobs simply did not get created this year, leaving a significant portion of the new workforce without a starting point. Financial analysts expect a 10 to 15% reset in IT sector valuations as the industry adjusts to this new, lower headcount reality. While the long-term goal is to lead in AI, the immediate consequence is an unaddressed space between government policy and the survival of the current IT workforce. History shows that crude oil prices eventually fall, easing the pressure of inflation, but the entry-level jobs being automated out of the IT sector are not returning. This era is defined by a shift in who creates value and how it is compensated. A policy that prioritizes AI as a national ambition requires a corresponding plan for workforce retraining. Without it, austerity measures only address the symptoms of a much larger transition. The government has successfully held a mirror up to the inflation crisis, but looking at the full reflection reveals a middle class facing a structural displacement that austerity alone cannot solve.